Good morning. Here we are for the second of our events presenting technological companies from Andalusia to different investors in different European countries. The previous event was on the 1st of December for the UK, and today's event is for Germany. So just to give a brief idea of what we're going to do today, we've got 9 companies presenting. We're going to start in 5 minutes time. The first one will start presenting. We'll now do a quick introduction to what this program is, and then every 10 minutes from that to 5, 15, 25, 35. The list of companies you can find on the event in LinkedIn and also on the posts that we have on LinkedIn and the LinkedIn event. So it should be relatively easy if you can't connect for the whole time to identify at what time you should connect to see the presentation that you're interested in seeing. Now, just to give a very brief explanation, this is a program that we're running on behalf of Extenda, which is Exterior Commerce Agency for Andalusia, where we're putting together, as I say, investors from different countries in Europe with technological companies from Andalusia. Without more ado, I'm going to add in 2 people that we have here from Extenda, one from Extenda in Spain, or 2 from Extenda in Spain. I see them both now on the screen, and Jesus from Düsseldorf, who will give a better description of their services. So, Beatriz, Alejandro, and Jesus, it's all yours.
Okay, thank you, Tom. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this investor matching session of our project in common, that is TIC Venture Capital for Andalusia. My name is Alejandro Santorosa, and this is my colleague Beatriz Feichtenberger, and we work for Extenda here at Seville and invest in Andalusia. And before starting, I would like to present our colleague in Germany, that is Jesus Santos and Raquel Rodriguez, that they work for Extenda commercial office at Düsseldorf in Germany. Hi, good morning, Jesus.
Good morning, Alejandro and Beatriz. Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to greet you in a digital format that seems very suitable for today's session. My name is Jesus Santos, and I'm the person in charge of Extenda's office in Germany, which is located in the city of Düsseldorf. Currently, I work together with my colleague Raquel Rodriguez, advising Andalusian companies of any sector that want to access the German market. But on the other hand, we also support any German company that wishes to start business relations in Andalusia. So we will be happy to assist you if you need introduction to Andalusian institutions or Andalusian companies. I believe that our colleagues from Investing in Andalusia have created an entry on the events page on LinkedIn, but we will leave our emails in the chat in case you have any further inquiries. I don't want to take too long, so I give the floor back to you, Tom, and we wish you a successful day. Thank you, and we keep in touch.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, both of you. We've got a couple of minutes before a Trebo start, but as you were saying, what we'll do is we'll add in to the YouTube comments as well. We'll add in the links when Atrebo's talking. I'll add in the links to the YouTube comments to your LinkedIn profiles as well, in case some of these are watching us on YouTube rather than LinkedIn. So thank you, guys. I'll bring Luis onto the screen from Atrebo, and we'll see you again. Well, during the session.
Hello, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning. So Luis, if you could start sharing your screen, and I'll bring that up on screen as well.
There it goes. Can you see my screen now?
I can see your screen, and so can everybody else. So absolutely perfect. I'm going to disappear off, and I'll be back in 5 minutes' time. It's all yours.
All right. Thank you so much, Tom. Well, thank you, everyone, for attending this session. My name is Luis del Valle. I'm the Chief Revenue Officer of Atrebo. Atrebo is let me tell you a little bit about what we are. We are a very specialized software company with one single product called Tree, which is a platform we created to support all the management of the telco towers life cycle. And we are 100% focused in these markets so far. And we're working hard to become the market leader in these niche markets. What we do, we created this platform based on 4 pillars for MNOs and tower cos and vendors to help them manage all this ecosystem of collaboration and embrace their full digital potential. So we cover, as I said, the whole life cycle of these infrastructures, based on relying on the processes, both internal and external. And with these processes, we generate the customers generate a huge amount of data that we also store and create it as the single source of truth. And based on these processes and database, we have a quite powerful reporting and analytics a tool as well. And we have a large experience integrating with other OSS and BSS platform systems like SAP, IBM, and some others. We have presence already, or operations, let's say, in 15 countries. We're currently managing over 250,000 towers and over 100,000 contracts related to them, for an overall value of over 20 billion euro, with offices in Seville, Madrid, and Sao Paulo. Our more representative customers in Europe are Vodafone and Vantage Tower, the new infrastructure company created by Vodafone, and tax infrastructure. And we have a huge presence together with Telefonica in almost all the countries where Telefonica has operations in South America, as well as some running opportunities with some prospects all over the world, as you can see, and one of them, Deutsche Funkturm, by the way. About our market, there are currently 4 players, including us. The other 3 are Sidetracker, Sidetara, and Tarantula, that have already gone through investment rounds. And we see the market is still growing and getting more global and extending to new regions like Africa and Asia. And we found that the organic growth is not an option anymore. To give you an idea on how we benchmark with all these companies, this is a brief highlight information from resulting from an RFP process we've been awarded from Telefonica, where we outperform all our competitors. About our strategic plan, we are looking for a partner to boost our growth, and we want to keep focusing on a specialization and continue growing in our telco business. But we need to rapidly approach more prospects worldwide, and we want to gain visibility by means of an aggressive marketing campaign. And we also like to explore some adjacent markets, like all the vertical markets like energy, fiber deployment, transportation, and smart cities. And we also want to speed up our current developments, focusing on artificial intelligence, on creating a robust partners ecosystem, and also explore blockchain for the contracts tracking that we manage in the platform. About the investment proposal, we value the company in 14 million euro by the moment, and we're looking for some investors that can help us grow in this new phase and consolidate our global presence, as well as explore new vertical markets. And we're offering an equity stake of between 30 to 40%, or even full control if the conditions are attractive. And we offer the full management commitment and expertise. And the CTO, the CEO, and myself have more than 20 years experience in this market. You can see on the right hand side, the 2 shareholders for the moment. We are more than 65 employees already and have a subsidiary in Brazil. About financial figures, our revenues were 3.2 million in 2018, 4 million last year, with an EBITDA of 63%. By chance, these 2 years, with a net profit of 2.1 and 2.2 the last couple of years, and we have 0 debt for the moment. So that will be all from my side. Do you have any question or comment?
What wonderful. Yeah, thank you very much, Luis. That's one thing that I didn't mention. There is a ticker running along the bottom, but if anybody does have any questions, then please make them during the presentations or right now, and we'll answer them in the 5 minutes that we have for questions. Whilst we're waiting for that to happen, if it does, Luis, could you just sort of describe to us what your sort of perfect investor partner would be in Germany? Are you looking? Obviously, we're always looking for smart money as companies. Are you looking for people that already have contacts into the telecommunications industry? Are you looking for people that have contacts into other funds, larger funds? What would you be looking for?
I think we have a very good presence and contacts already with telco operators in Germany. I was working myself for telecom for almost 9 years, and I was based in Bonn for 4 years. So and I think we well cover in that arena. But of course, anything can be improved. But we might be more interested in somebody that might bring something like more into new technologies and new verticals, definitely.
Fantastic. Okay, well, here we have a question about Africa. That's an interesting one.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is not that we have already started some prospections there, and we see a lot of traction and interest, and definitely is a market we are very, very much interested in, and why not? I mean, maybe the best way would be by having or getting a stakeholder from there that will definitely help us. It'll be more than welcome. Thank you.
And in terms of, now that we're talking about Africa, you've obviously got a relatively strong position in LATAM. As you said, you have a subsidiary company in Brazil. So you're used to working with slightly complicated jurisdictions. What are your rollout plans in that respect?
I could not include it because we have an NDA in place, but we have already signed a contract for 10 years for one of the 10 largest telcos in Europe, with presence in Southern Asia, and we most likely will be opening an office in Singapore by mid next year, and expanding in that region as well, definitely. I was developing Middle East for 3 years for Deutsche Telekom, and have very good connections there as well, and have already started conversation with some players there, as I include that in my presentation. I mean, we are exploring the world. The good thing is that we have a software platform and can be implemented any place, and we prove it already very far away in places like Chile or Brazil or Argentina. So that experience can be extended to any player across the globe.
Fantastic. All right, Luis, thank you very much. We reached the end. if anybody needs to get in contact, you've got the website on page, and you've got Luis del Valle. You can find him on LinkedIn, and obviously he's within the LinkedIn assistants on assistentes. I'm not sure how you say that. God, my English is disappearing. Anyway, attendees on the event in LinkedIn. You can find him. Thank you very much. All right. Oh, sorry, I cut you off there. Okay, so I'm going to bring on Jesus from Wola. Jesus, if you could start sharing your screen, please.
Hi. Can you see the slides?
Yep, we're all there. I'm going to disappear off, and I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Okay. So hi everyone. This is Jesus from Wola. And today I'd like to tell you about a problem that we all had when we were students, and that was finding good quality study materials and class notes. Now, I'm sure you all remember this very good student who used to have the best class notes that you could ever possibly have for passing your test. Well, I'm glad to tell you that that's why Wola exists, because when you register in our platform, you just choose your university, faculty or college, degree and academic year, and inside the website, you will find the specific class notes from your own classmates that you need to succeed, to pass your tests. We are currently using a PDF format, but looking forward, we will also introduce the video format. Now, as you can imagine, our mission, therefore, is to help students to pass their subjects by offering them well-organized and high-quality study materials. But our strategic vision for the future is to offer long-life learning so that students, everyone in general, can learn just about anything without the limitations of official academic programs. We are a team of 20 people working full-time, focused on the product and the product-led growth. Our potential market in Spain, where we started, is 3.4 million users, Latin America, 25 million users, and Europe, including Germany by 2023, 12 million users. We currently have 1.1 million registered users, and basically we are breaking every previous record. Just to give you an idea, in October, we had 71,000 new users, and in November, 55,000 new users. And because we are growing more than ever, Google has included us in their growth report as the EdTech startup with the highest organic growth during the pandemic. Now, our business model is freemium, meaning that you can access all of our documents for free with some ads printed on them. Or if you pay some money, you can access the premium features, very much like the way Google, YouTube, or Spotify work. So we're currently working on a 2 million funding round for April 2021, with which we want to improve our content, keep expanding and promoting to Latin America and in turn to Europe, and also improve advertising and consolidate this freemium business model. But right now we are closing a convertible note of 300K in which Andreas Mihalovic, who is our main investor, he is following on with 150K, leaving another 150K ticket on very good terms. So thank you very much for your attention. I'll be glad to answer to your questions.
Wonderful, Jesus. Thank you very much for that. Let's just take off your screen because it's thank you very much for that. And the comment about Andreas Mihalovic was a great one. Never a better example of a German investor investing in Andalusian companies. So a great partner for German investors to have as well. So if you could just talk us through a little bit. So at the moment, your focus has very much been on Spain and then LATAM generally. What are your plans for within Europe and most specifically within Germany? So how can an investor help you over and above money?
So the idea is that this 300K convertible note, we want to keep reinforcing our growth, investing in more growth, because when we talk about Latin America, it's easy for us to adapt, to adjust the platform to that market. We've been running some tests and we can achieve massive growth there. But we need investors in Germany, because actually they can path the way, they can pave the way for the learning system. We can know more about the differences in the learning system, and we can grow there knowing that we are not going blindfolded. So it's crucial for us to have someone, a reference there to keep expanding to Europe. It's true that maybe, yes, Latin America, because of the language barrier, there's no barrier, and the platform, as I said, you can adapt it very easily. But then in turn, we want definitely to be present in Germany, and for that we need someone who knows the field, I should say.
Fantastic. Well, my next question was going to be regarding commercial traction, and Marcus has made a very similar question. So if you could just answer.
So right now our traction is bigger than ever before, and as I said, we are focusing on product-led growth, because that's basically what we are getting. I mean, the product, the key here is the product, and it's working wonderfully, and well, that's why we were referring to these numbers from the Google growth reports and so on, because really that's our focus. We need to focus on contents. We need to make sure that everyone, and that's what we are achieving, that everyone who enters the platform finds it's 100% match, and that's what has been working until now. You get into the platform and you find the specific documents or information for your own classroom for a specific event, for a specific teacher and their lecture. So it's basically.
That's great, but if we could just go back, and possibly because it's a difficult one to answer, how many repeat users are there? I mean, how frequently does the average user access the site, and what percentage? Yeah, go on. Let's go for that part first, and then the next part.
That would be there's 1% of users that pay for the downloads without ads. That's for the freemium model that we are still implementing. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, that's the second part. And how many people? How often does the average user access the site? So just generally,
58 after finding the right documents, 60%. I mean, I could answer that better in an email with all the supporting documents, but around 60%, and you can see the metrics. It's very visual. 60% of the users that find documents in the first place, they keep entering the platform every month on a monthly basis.
Okay, fantastic. I think that's answered the question. Yes. Okay, well, thank you very much, Jesus. I'm gonna take you off screen now and bring on Manuel from Novatechnic. So off with that, and sorry, with voila, and I'll bring on Manuel. Manuel, wonderful. If you could start sharing your screen, please, Manuel. And then just move to the presentation.
Which is presentation. Is that ready now?
Yeah, just put it at full screen. It's ready, but you can see it perfectly. Okay, brilliant. I'll disappear off and I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Okay, guten Morgen, Damen und Herren. Vielen Dank für diese Gelegenheit. It's Manuel Lozada, Marketing Manager at NOVATECHNIC. And NOVATECHNIC has, as you can see, has been providing consulting and urban maintenance services since 2007. Amongst other business areas, we are specialized in the production and installation of underground street rubbish containers. This has been keystone actually for our internal technological development for smart cities called NOVALITY. NOVALITY is what we call a urban smart facility with two main services, as a safe parking for bicycles and scooters, as a mini hub for logistic companies. Intelligent underground parking, there are plenty of services to be offered, and we would like to highlight as public institutions citizen service. That's where we are focusing ourselves right now. What makes us different? We're trying to take up the challenge of offering a sustainable, safe and connected mobility, because thefts are very concerned here in Spain. So we are offering private safe lockers for all the users that need to download an app to reserve a locker beforehand, and then arrive to the place, leave the platform, and lock the bike or scooter inside. With that, the administration or the public entities have plenty of information about sustainable vehicles trends. We offer a unique product willing to receive multi-annual funds from both the EU and national government, and to take advantage of the post-COVID cycling booming. The second service, as I said before, would be like a logistics mini hub, perfect for logistic companies offering last mile services. NOVALITY stations can offer an efficient parcel storage and removal location on pavements or maybe on car parking places. You know all the figures about how e-commerce is booming, so how logistic companies need more flexible and optimized spots for their merchandise. We have many clients in the pipeline. Actually, we have already signed contracts with some public institutions, and the first stations are to be in operation in Marbella by the end of March. They will be followed shortly by other ones in Seville and other places in Andalusia. We are developing our sales activity also in other regions of Spain. As a business model, we expect to have income basically from selling stations to public and private entities, to license or franchise our product to cities and countries, from maintenance fees, and actually from advertising revenues in stations. Our key metrics, those are the stations that we expect to install in the upcoming years, and the investment break-even point is expected by mid-2022. Following the HALVA investment model, we have the POCD Framework. Our CEO has made a big private investment, and the managing team and key suppliers are really committed with the project. The context is very favorable, as I said before, with many funds coming from the European Union, the next generation plan. And the opportunity is that there are no real competitors for this sort of service in Spain, and the wide sales scope that we can cover. We're looking for what is called smart money, not only financial power, but also know-how from our partner, helping us to develop our product and the possibility of expanding to other countries. We're looking to raise 300,000 euros to finish our mini hub on the ground prototyping, expand our sales activity in the north of Spain and Portugal, increasing our marketing potential and our reach of our competitors. This is our managing team, a mixture of experience and passion for innovation. And I just need to thank you for your attention and show my willingness to answer to your question. A technical video is also available. Thank you so much. Vielen Dank.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that, Manuel. The question that I've been asking everyone, as you know, is so what are you specifically looking for in investors? And you've partially answered that or briefly answered that during the presentation. So you're looking for either investors who can support you as well as financially in terms of the technical capabilities. I guess that includes construction, because the experience of actually doing the underground, the technicality construction, you've done for a long time, or companies that can help you in terms of commercial traction. So to focus more on the commercial traction, because I'm not an engineer, so I wouldn't understand the other side. What type of, because your pipeline was a bit of a mix of different types of companies. What type of contacts would a perfect sort of investor, a partner have in what type of industry, what sector? Would it be all public administration? Would it be a town hall level? What do you tend to find in that respect?
Yeah, here in Spain, we have a long experience dealing with public entities, because those are our main clients from the beginning of our society. So if they can supply us with contact in other business areas like shopping centers, management firms, for instance, that are multinationals, I'm sure that those big investors know the right people in Germany, so they relate it to the counterparts in Spain. And we have no international experience, basically. So if we want to expand, we will need full contacts outside. I mean, first of all, with public entities, which is our biggest development area. I think it is can be our tractor to start working in foreign markets. We expect basically to be dealing with the public entities abroad.
Okay, and just okay, sorry. Oh no, there's a question for Will. In terms of sort of the traction that you've been having to date and the sort of the conversion, what do you find? I mean, how long does this process take, and how well are you finding the conversion from talking to a town hall? How is the sales process? Sorry, I'm not describing it very well, but
well, here we're basically dealing with authorities concerned with the mobility needs in their towns or in their cities, and they go along with sustainable mobility plans, which will be compulsory in maybe 2-3 years time. You know, all those cities with more than 50,000 inhabitants will need to have a sustainable mobility plan. So that's certainly need by the authorities. So it's like a blue ocean, you can see, because you see the clients are right expecting to your offer because they need to sort that out. As well as cycleways and so on, parkings are also a headache for them, because they know that the system wouldn't work if they know that bikes or scooters are damaged or stolen, which is what it's really happens here in Spain. So it refrains people from using those sustainable vehicles nowadays.
Okay. Brilliant. Well, unfortunately, we've reached the end of the 5 minutes, but thank you very much for that. People have got the website obviously on the screen, and Manuel Lozada from Novatechnic and Novality, if you're looking up on LinkedIn.
Our contact details are in the presentation, and we're more than willing to answer to the question.
On that topic, just a comment that tomorrow will be sending out the link on YouTube, so if people need to see it asynchronously, and we'll also be including a link to the website that has all the one pages and all the presentations of all the different companies to via email. So thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much.
And now Raul from Dropia will come on screen. Raul, if you could start sharing your screen, please.
Sure.
While I'm waiting for that to happen, I'll just put your website on screen, and then we fill up the unused pixels.
Sorry.
No worries. Just because we had the same problem with Manuel. If the rest of you, just before I bring you on screen, it's going to happen. If you could start sharing, then it makes it quicker. Brilliant. You're now on. Just need you to open up the presentation.
Is this in now?
Yeah. We just need you to open up the presentation. You can see your screen. Oh, now we can't. Now it's gone.
Can you see my screen?
No, we did, and it's now gone. I'll put this up on screen. I'll give it back. Perfect, got it. Just need to open up the presentation, and it's all yours.
Sorry for that.
No worries. We had worse on the first. Okay, I'll disappear off, and I'll be back in 5 minutes. All yours, Raul.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'm Raul Candiles, CEO of Dropia. We help companies save time, money, and effort by storing in the correct place. In logistics, 70% of the costs are directly related to transport. But the distribution model of the companies looks more like the map on the left than the map on the right. It doesn't make many sense, does it? It's even worse if you take into consideration that logistic operators have an average of 25% of available space in their warehouses, with fixed costs like personnel, machinery, or facility. That's already a problem, but during COVID pandemic, it has been shown the fragility of the supply chain, putting in risk the access to key merchandise and products for companies. Because is there anything worse than having customers willing to buy and not being able to serve them? Now, the companies are more aware about the needs of having a flexible warehousing, distributed logistics, or a safety stock. Our solution is based in two pillars. First, the largest warehouse network in Spain and Portugal, and we are looking for new warehouses partners in Poland, Czech Republic, and Germany, where you can help us. And second, an inventory management SaaS that, using artificial intelligence, determines the ideal location for each product, minimizing the delivery times. That's 70% of transport costs we were talking about before. We are Dropier, and when you use our flexible storage network, you will improve the user experience with faster deliveries. You will reduce your logistics costs, and you will increase the recurring purchases of each user. Because as an example, Prime member spends 2.3 times more on Amazon than a non-Prime member. We are the first company bringing this warehousing on demand model here in Spain, and we're following the trend from the States with great companies like Flexe, Store, or Flowspace. And there are two other startups like us in Europe. Our competition is any traditional logistic company, but they don't have the flexibility or technology of Dropier. And on the other hand, you have many startups giving great solutions in transport and last mile, but they are not paying attention or focusing on the storage as we do. And when they are giving some little solutions to the storage, they are very urban solutions that do not allow the storage of large volumes of products as we do. Our business model is based on commission on logistic services and a SaaS membership premium for advanced features. This is possible thanks to our team with more than 30 years of experience accumulated in business, sales and marketing, logistics, and technology. Born in Demium and supported by them, accelerated in Startup Labs and Telefonica Open Future. We have top investors like Tom Horsey and Joaquin Cuenca. We are inviting you to join this team and create together a world where everything is stored in the correct place. Many thanks for your time. If you have any question, I'm here for you.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for that, Raul. Well, I obviously know your particular project quite well. So I wonder if you could just talk us through your traction, particularly over the last few months, because obviously everything was in turmoil, obviously at the Q2, Q3. If you could sort of talk through what your traction has been over the last sort of 6 months.
Okay, we have had the problem that our solution is quite global. So we have different kind of customers, corporate, e-commerce, SMEs. So we couldn't focus on and give our solution to one kind of customers. We have been doing a work just to have a clear vertical to allow us scale our business. So we are in the way right now to have our product market fit. We did +7 in sales in November, and we are waiting to see how these December and January come, because we are looking for this. We were quite flat in the previous months, and we are looking for this product market fit, looking for the hockey graphic.
But when you say +7, you mean 7 times invoicing?
7 times.
invoicing compared to October. That's what I was sort of getting at. And in terms of your sort of perfect investor, what are you looking for? More people that have access to distribution warehousing in Germany, or that have access to e-commerce companies or drop shippers from Germany that are interested in entering the Spanish market, or both of them?
Both. Because of our kind of customers, we are also touching companies from the States, America, and Asia who are importing to Europe, and Germany, of course, is a place to be. So we are looking to grow our warehousing network there. So any possible investor or contact who can help us grow our network there would be great. But we can also match with investors or companies who are scaling their business to Spain and Portugal, for example, where we have our main network here. We have the flexibility to give them the logistic solution anywhere in a flexible way. They can come and test in a city, and then depending on where they are selling at the end, reallocate all the products so we can deliver faster and cheaper.
Absolutely fantastic. All right. Well, thank you very much, Raul. With that, I'm going to bring on Felipe Sanchez, who has to share his camera by the looks of things and also his screen. Felipe, yeah, brilliant. Got the camera. If you could just add on your screen, start sharing.
I'm sharing my screen right now. Yes, here. Okay. So you should be watching my screen now.
I can. Absolutely perfect. Okay, I'm going to disappear off and be back in 5 minutes. All yours.
Okay. Thank you, Tom. Well, first of all, my name is Felipe Sanchez, and I am the responsible of marketing and customer care in Biologic. Biologic is a Spanish company, and what we do is provide our customer cloud services. We are focused on moving, relocation, and storage sector business right now. And we had a constant increase on clients as companies and users in the last 5 years. That means that we're doing things right, in our opinion. We have a 9-people team in Spain. 70% of the team is obviously dedicated to development and designing of new products. And we have 2 more guys out of Spain, abroad, one in Canada and another one in France. They are our representatives over there. What we do? Right now, our main product is BuyMovers. BuyMovers is a CRM ERP 100% in cloud. That's the main difference between our products and the competence. BuyMovers is not only CRM ERP, is a complete environment that tries to cover all needs of our customers in the different aspects and the different parts of the moving, relocation, and transportation business. We have a new product being developed right now that is called Links in English, that try to go a little further, a little wider, a little bigger inside this business and cover all needs of every transportation company in the world. We have now customers in 14 countries. Over 100 companies are trusting us and our products. The average ticket per customer as a software, as a service product is around 300 euros a month. Our advantages respecting the competence will be defined later. Our next step is Central Europe. France is not an unknown market for us. We have already customers in France. We have a representative over there. And Germany is a potential market with more than 2,200 companies only in moving, relocation, and storage business. So it's a wide objective, and our goal is complete this in the next 2 years, because Germany, as you should know, is not only the destination, but even the passing through main country, most important country in Europe regarding transportation. Our growth in Europe, it finds competence, of course, but we have several advantages over our competence that they are right now, the 5 systems that you can see on the screen. The first one is that we are a 100% cloud. In these times of lockdown and COVID, it is really important to offer our customers the ability of working from home. A lot of companies in Spain, where we are the #1 software for moving, relocation, and storage, thanks us the ability of keep on working during this complicated 2020. We have a wider range of products because, as we told to you, we try to cover all aspects. Mobility is our definition, so we give the opportunity of cover all parts of the business through mobility. Affordability, we are a little more affordable than the competence because we can adapt our products to the real needs of the customer. So you pay for exactly what you use and what you need. And of course, being a 100% cloud system is always updated. We are improving and making new features and new characteristics in our products every single day. We're looking for external investment of about 300,000 euros to deploy our expansion in France and Germany, and make it in a quick and firm way. We want to make this expansion through marketing and social media, establishing a sales and customer support network, local in France and in Germany, and of course, it's something that works really good for us in Spain, making local alliances and events, because our system, our environment has the ability of communicating with other softwares through APIs. We have developed a complete set of APIs so our products can communicate, can talk to other software systems. More to come. Well, this is LINCE. This is the logistic in cloud environment that we are developing right now. We got funds. We raised over €500,000 from CDTI as a neotech project. CDTI is basically the Center for Technical and Industrial Development of the Ministry of Economy and Competitiveness in Spain. So that makes you an idea of how important and how the magnitude of our product. We got funds from an official ministry in this case. What LINCE, it wants to do? Well, it has some characteristics similar to the product that we are doing right now. It's 100% cloud. It's a global product that can be used in every country around the world through any device. It's a modular one, so we can adapt to the company, and of course, completely 100% safe. But as I told you, we want to go wider and farther. We want to take another business inside the transportation, as road transport, earth moving, sea freight, air transportation, storage, and so on. So we're talking about a potential market only in Spain of 100,000 companies, more than 1 million companies in Europe, and more than 5 million companies in the world. It's a wide objective and a wide goal, but our intention is complete every process inside the transportation. What we expect? Well, only moving, storage, and relocation companies, I mean the product that we have already in the market and the #1 software in Spain. In France and Germany, there are over 3,300 companies. Taking during 2021 just a 5% of market, that in our opinion is a realistic objective. We're talking about 165 companies with our current month average ticket. That means an income next year of about 600,000 euros. So that's why we need the investment to make our expansion in Europe in a firm, quick, and settle down way. Thanks for your time, and I'm open to any question or any doubt you may have about our products or company.
Felipe, that was absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much. So I've got a quick question for you, if nothing comes in from the audience, which is, because in a way what you're looking to do is replicate what you've already started doing in France, in Germany, and obviously expand on what you're doing in France. If you could sort of just talk through very briefly sort of the timeline and the traction that you've had to date in France, so that people could have expectations for how long it would actually take to reach a certain level of invoicing.
Yeah, well, France is a market that we, let's say, start over like 1 year ago. Right now, we're working with probably the biggest company of moving and relocation in France, that is the Eco Group. And right now we have another 6 companies coming. The point is that, in our opinion, having a local representative in those countries is a necessary step to break a market, because the language, because the uses, because everything. So what we want to do in Germany is something similar. I mean, first, everybody knows our product, and then settle down in a, doing the necessary steps to make a proper introduction in Germany. Transportation business is the same all over the world. I mean, we have customers in Panama and Mexico, and the way of working is very, very similar. But the specific characteristics of every country, it defines that your product can be accepted or not. It's not an unknown market for us because, of course, a lot of our customers, they do business with Germany. So we have been in contact through IAM events and other fairs and events all Europe and Denmark and Italy with German customers. But what we want to do is establishing over there a local network of salesperson. And of course, what is very, very important for us, support. Being a tech product, that the feeling of the customer of being helped and have a phone or an email where I can call or I can contact if I have any doubt or any problem is really, really important for us. So we want to do the introduction in the German market in a proper way. And that's why basically we need an external investment to make it quicker than by our means.
Of course. Okay, I'm just going to make one very, very brief question before I bring on Gustavo from Global Radio System, which is, you say that your target is a 5% market share in France and Germany. Just to get an idea, what's your market share in Spain at the moment, which is your
right now in Spain, they are registered about 420 moving and relocation company. Our market right now in Spain is the 45% of the market.
Absolutely fantastic. Okay, you've answered the question. Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Have a nice day.
And you. Bye-bye. Okay, I'll just take this off screen and I'll bring on Gustavo. Gustavo, if you could start sharing your screen, please.
Yes.
Just a reminder to those that are still to come on, if you could start sharing your screen before I bring you on, it would be perfect. Absolutely brilliant. Just start. You just need to open up the presentation. There we go. And
yes, it's okay.
There we go. Yeah, absolutely perfect. Okay, I'll disappear off and I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Okay, thank you very much. I am Gustavo Pérez, the CMO of Global Radio System. That is a company located in Sevilla. The foundation date is 2017, and it's a radio communications operator with 10 people in our team. We help companies that need a secure and stable professional radio communications and need national and international coverage. We provide benefits in different areas like cost, connectivity, coverage, fast deployment, and putting into service. We use a digital tracking technology. We have developed our own firmware for the GRS terminals. We have developed a software where our customers manage all of the terminals in the different group of services. And we use the data infrastructures of the communications operators in each country. In this picture, I saw in the left the radio communications, the software which manage our solution, and different examples of communications operators that we use in each country. We install a SIM card in our terminals, and the terminals detect which is the best coverage in each point. Depends on the different operators that we have connected. It's an end-to-end solution. It's a global solution, but we are a local solution in each country because we use the local communications operators. Our target market are different companies, public and private security services, emergency services, industry utilities, logistic and transport services. And for example, in Spain, the potential market is 140 million euros each year. We have identified different pains in this sector. If our customers use the current radio communication solutions, they have coverage problems because they haven't got a redundant coverage. The investment is an important pain. The time and investment to install, impossibility to immediate deployment, and other pains that are important in different activity sectors. Why don't we solve these pains with a mobile phone solution? It's clear, no post-to-talk communications, no calls for a group, no possibility to configure a group of work, less coverage and less strong than a radio terminal, and different user needs that a mobile phone don't resolve. In our business model, we have two revenue flow in two concepts. The registration fee is around 120 to 150 euros each terminal at the beginning of the contract, and a month service fee between 35 to 45 euros per month, and it's per terminal. It's an example of a case of a study. It's one of our customers, the Santander Bank, for the private security for executives and security convoys in Banco Santander. We offer and we serve different benefits, but the most important benefit for them is the reduction of 30% the expenses year in a radio communication service. Another case of a study is Autoamtax, is the ambulance service in the region of Huelva in Andalusia. Two benefits for them important: the coverage and the possibility to integrate with its software tools. Another example is, in this case, in Mozambique. It's a private security in rail transport, and in this case, it's the reduction of more than the 50% in the radio communication service within a structure. Our figures now in October, 19 customers, more than 460 terminals in our customers, and the turnover is most important than last year. Our sales funnel now, in total, 42 opportunities. 11 are opportunities that we are working in Africa and Latam, and now we have tested our solution in more than 15 countries with success results. Our financial needs, 550,000 euros, 50% in equity, and the other 50% we have signed with ENISA a participate loan. ENISA is the National Innovation Company of the Spanish government. And the pre-money value now is 2,300,000 euros. And no more. Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Gustavo. That was fantastic. So whilst we're waiting for questions to come in from the audience, if any do, okay. just a quick question in terms of obviously what we've been asking, your perfect sort of smart money. What type of investor are you looking for? Somebody who can support you in the German market, somebody can support you in more internationally, because I've seen a lot of the opportunities are in many different countries. What would your perfect investor be?
We are looking for a smart investment, because it's important not only the financial investment for us. It's important the possibility to have different agreements with the company which invest in our company. Agreements to develop our new markets, preferably in LATAM and in Africa. We have identified that Africa is one of the most important markets for us, because it's the needs that they have in different services with the communications is very important. And in our case, we are going to focalize our business development in these countries.
Okay, and just a question, because I imagine the reason you're finding developing countries better prospects is because there's less mobile coverage. Are you not seeing with sort of 5G and the security concerns revolving around 5G. Whether or not they're true, I'm not enough of a, I don't know enough about electrical engineering to understand that, but or telecommunications generally to understand that. But are you seeing a sort of interest in the more developed markets as a result of that as well, or not?
Yeah.
You talked about Santander, so.
Yes. This is, I think that the 3 case of studies in different type of services. I mean, in all of them, there are different pains that they have with the radio communications solutions, because it's not an alternative, the mobile phone solution in this type of services.
Okay, fantastic. Well, with that, we've finished the minutes. There are no questions coming in from the audience. So thank you very much, Gustavo. I'm going to bring in.
Tom.
No, you're welcome. And I'm going to bring on Miguel from Supervecina Comunitaria Wikibank. I'm not quite sure which. Sorry, you've changed. Miguel, if you could start sharing your screen, please.
Yes. I think I'm sharing it already. Can you see that?
You are. Got it there, and just need to put that full screen. Brilliant. Okay, well, I'm gonna, you can still see it. It's not quite full screen, but I can see it on my screen, so I imagine everybody else can on theirs. I will disappear off and I'll be back in 5 minutes. All yours.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Miguel Prados. I'm the CEO of Supervecina, and we're trying to make a better living together with your neighbors. So Supervecina, what we do online voting, budgets, and management of homeownership associations, and we do that 100% online. So 67% of the Spaniards and 55% of the German population pays a recurring monthly fee to the homeowner association. That's data from the Eurostat. And that's a recurrent revenue. It's approximately 60 euros per month per owner, which represent 40 billion euros a year in Spain, 3.6 of the GDP, with an average of 6 euros per month going to the administrator of the homeownership association. In Germany, the average that goes to the WEG, I'm not able to pronounce that name, it's 20 euros per month. So it's big money and it's a recurrent revenue. So this is the actual quota distribution of the revenue. Most of the revenue goes to building works and supplies, and also maintenance. And what's our revenue model? We actually will send in leads. And how it works, imagine that neighbors wanted to do a repair, neighborhoods wanted to do a repair. Normally they ask the president of the community to ask the homeownership association administrator to ask for a budget. But here we have a responsible neighbor which tries to get better pricing for the homeownership association, and she will ask by herself a new budget. And that's where we came in. We charge the provider with a fee for that, providing that extra budget. And so our actual revenue model is sell leads. We have an actual monthly recurring revenue of 11,000 euros. This month is going to be 12,000 euros. And we get more or less 3,400 monthly leads of doing this. So we have 3,400 contacts every month of neighbors that are not that happy or want to have an alternative budgeting for the repair work and the homeowners association. We have to bear in mind that here in Spain, 1,500 million will go to the next year to do building renovation here in Spain. So the amount of budgetings for the homeownership association, at least here in Spain, are gonna increase by a huge amount. And the problem is the owners doesn't trust that much their community administrator, principally lack of transparency and fair pricing and fair decision. So you have to know that in Germany, you have now is in place, you can do things now online. So you can vote electronically if you decided to do so. So that's an opportunity. And that's where it comes our revenue model number 2, which is to provide online voting by proxy voting in homeownership associations. We have associated ourselves with a trusted third party, so we can operate everywhere in Europe. And we have a really simple to use, but very technically backed system of proxy voting is available there. So you can deal with your work from home using our SaaS. You can calculate budget, you can do online voting, you can track repairs, you can follow the accounts, you can request saving and ask questions. You can do everything online now. Now the law is on your side in Germany. So what's our request? We are asking for 150K at a valuation of 1.2 million. We want to hire a sales director and expand at least the online voting, which is usable in every country. And we have more services included in our SaaS, but that will be our main duty to provide online voting for communities, homeownership association. We are a responsible company. We've gathered 3,000 volunteers to run errands in the COVID crisis, and now we're providing fresh food via donation in the mostly private neighborhoods here in Sevilla. We are social responsible enterprise. That's all. This is the team that brings everything together. We have a CTO that comes from the Space Agency of Argentina, and really brilliant and young people able to take this idea forward. Thank you very much. That was the presentation.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Miguel. Just while we're waiting to see if any questions come in from the audience, I've got one for you regarding traction specific to what you're doing at the moment in Spain. So you mentioned that your growth has gone, your MRR has moved from 11,000 to 12,000 from November to December, or from October to November. I'm not sure which of the 2 months we were talking about. What's the traction been like over the sort of the last 3, 4, 6 months? To get an idea of
started from 2,000 in January last year to 12,000 now.
Okay, and has that speeded up over the last sort of few months, or is it just steady?
I mean, I think that's capped, because although we managed to have double our cost per acquisition is half the cost of the lead, so we are getting double of the income as we spend in advertising. But we think that's capped at some point. So that's why we are changing our business model to our current business model. So what is unique about us, and it's unique and nobody has it, is we have a current flow of leads, more than 3,400 leads per month of responsible neighbors that want to do something with their homeownership association. And that continuous flow not only is not costing us, but providing us with revenues, and this is our current revenues. But we are in the process of pivoting our business model to make more use of those 3,400 leads per month. So we want to turn our business of sell leads to actually provide recurring revenue. But we have an advantage that no one else has. It is we have these leads for free. So, and it's a particular type of neighbor. It's the one that is not happy with the current administration. It's the one that wants to help out the community administration. So if we do have to target that precise person, it will cost us a lot of money. But it's not only not costing us money, but producing revenues. So that's one of the main things we have.
And in terms of your perfect investor in Germany, would this be somebody with contacts to homeowners associations? I don't know how fragmented the industry is in Germany, or would it be a property development company? What what type of, would you be looking for an industrial investor or a financial investor? What would your perfect investor be?
I mean, actually, someone that had access to the community administrator, to the work there, would be brilliant. Although I think the best start is with the online voting system. It will take us 1 week to adapt it to the German regulation, and it will be quite straightforward to do the online voting. And the good thing of the online voting is that we don't need to have the administration of the community to use it. So every individual by themselves can use it. So it's really open. I mean, whoever lives in Germany and lives in a web can use the voting tool to vote on his or her homeownership association. So it's quite straightforward. Our idea is to start with the online voting and then provide the entire software as a service, because our value proposition is manage your community 100% online, which is something that everybody knows now that is true, because we've been locked down for nearly a year, and there's been no need to have the community administration by your side. In fact, we haven't seen them in about 9 months now, and everything seems to work except taking decisions. And that's why we choose taking decision as the first thing to do with the homeownership associations.
Okay, brilliant. Well, thank you very much for that. With that, we'll move on to Talentex. I'll just take your screen here, and there, and here we go. So Jose Manuel, you've shared your screen. Thank you very much. And I'll disappear off, and I'll be back in 5 minutes' time.
Okay, thank you. Do you remember the old skate saloon that disappeared at the beginning of the 2000s? They left a big void in the community of players. Some years later, proper users began to create their own arcade machine in a handmade way, me among them. Enterprises sold this kind of product finished, but with a very high price, and it would not be easy be sent to a carrier. So we had 3 problems: avoiding the player community, an expensive product, and an unshippable product. To solve this, Talentex Entertainment was born in 2016 with the idea of helping people to create their own arcade machines. Nowadays, we make arcade do-yourself kits, easy to assemble. Furthermore, we provide the majority of components to complete your project. And we have another product like arcade sticks. So until today, our business model is based on direct sales of this product. We are designers, assemblers, and sellers, but with the manufacturing outsourced. This let us grow up with a big debt. We are a profitable enterprise since our first year. Our current margin, according to cost material and supplier, is nearly 60%. Nowadays, all our sales are done by internet and mostly to final clients. Around the 60% of our sales are done of sales Spain. So it could be said that we have a high level of internationalization. Okay, fine. But what's the next? The next is create complete and closed kits with all the necessary parts to run, make new arcade kits, build a B2B network, grow in the German market, and our start project. We are working to solve another problem, the access to video games. We are developing a software that allows emulate different systems in our products or in any product that works with a Raspberry Pi. This software will be connected to a marketplace where game developers will be able to load their rooms, letting users download and play easily their favorite games. So we kill 2 birds with 1 stone. We make it easier the access to games, and we let developers monetize outdated games. This project will let us access to a new business model based on commission for game sales through our marketplaces. To develop these ideas, we estimate that we will need 100,000 euros. Of this amount, around the 70% correspond to the project Lupin and the 20% to complete the kit. It's important to say that being a self-employed company, the entire investing will go directly to this project. About the prevision, based on our historic, we are going to continue growing up. This year, that was a very hard year, we are going to increase our billing around 15%. Furthermore, we expect that every new development brings us an additional growth, like increase the average ticket, reach more customers, increase sales, or creating a B2B network. For the marketplace, if it becomes the benchmark platform to retro games, we should think in other orders or order of magnitude. According to Germany, we expect increase the current 8% of total sales after traduce our website and after create ads campaigns. Here you can check our team is led by myself, Jose Manuel Tapia. I'm process engineer, founder manager, and product developer at Talent Tech Entertainment. The most important value of this team is having been able to achieve important things with few resources. In conclusion, I would like to say that with few resources, I started with 5,000 euros in 2016. And with our product finish, we have grown strongly like company. So imagine what we can achieve with good ideas, with finished products, and a B2B network. Please, if you like our project, check our dossier or contact with us through this way. Thank you for your attention.
Jose Manuel, thank you very much for that. I'll just take this off and I'll add on your website. And whilst we're waiting to see if any questions come in from the audience, one thing that I would say in terms of your growth this year, to grow 15% during the year, I think is obviously impressive. And I would imagine, to be honest with you, that you would see a greater uptick than on the left of your graphs you actually saw, because there's obviously a more of a macro trend in terms of home entertainment as a result of COVID than there was previous. So as sort of spending starts up again, you should see even faster growth. But just on the comment of tickets, and you're talking about cross-selling and upselling to your users. What's your current ticket that you're looking to increase on?
Right now we can talk about average ticket of 1,160 euros. We think that it's possible increase the ticket due to that with all the components and with a finished product, the margin and the ticket will be increased.
Well, I would imagine that you've got a very loyal customer base for the type of service you're talking about. So I wouldn't think that moving from 160 euros up would be too much of a problem. What's your current recurring customer? I mean, how many of your users make repeat purchases? Is there a need to make the repeat purchases? I mean, obviously, if you want more than one arcade machine, box in your house or your workspace, then you would. But what is the current level of recurring customers?
The current level? What do you mean about the current level?
So what percentage of your customers make repeat purchases at the moment?
Repeating the purchases, are you talking about?
Yeah.
Right now, the repeating of purchases is not very. It's not high according to final clients, but we work with resellers that they finish the products and they sold to another. They sell to another final client. So to this kind of reseller, the percentage is of repetition of purchases is high, and but with our new business model that we are looking to reach, the purchases will be very with a lot of repetition, according to sell video games through our web or through our marketplace to our customers.
Okay. On a similar point, Tommy's mentioned is about co-working spaces. Do you sell currently to, I don't know, a WeWork at the moment? Do you find that you have your B2B to C customers that you're talking about? Are any of them tend to be sort of co-working spaces?
In this moment, we have nothing this way of work, but could be a good idea for the future.
Okay, fantastic. All right, well, we've reached the end of our time. So if anybody has any further questions, they should grab hold of you on LinkedIn or directly. It's Jose Manuel Tapia. It doesn't appear on screen here, but if you look up Talentech, you'll find him as CEO. Okay, thank you very much, Jose Manuel. Oh, wait a second, we're missing Jose Luis Cobos, who should be connected from SymbioCar, but I don't see him here in the background. So let me just check. Antonio, I'll ask him now on WhatsApp. And if not, well, we'll bring it to an end now. I'll bring your URL up on screen again whilst we're waiting for him. And I'll if you've got anything additional that you'd like to mention, we'll take advantage of the additional time whilst we're waiting for Jose Luis to connect up. Where's that? Oh, he's gone. Okay, all right. Well, I'll take off Talentech. The next company to be presenting is SymbioCar. The CEO, Jose Luis Cobos, for some reason isn't connected right now. I'll give him a minute to do so, and if not, well, then we'll say our goodbyes. I hope that you found it interesting up to this point. If you need to connect to any of the companies presenting, well, you've got their details as we mentioned on the LinkedIn events page. You can grab hold of myself or indeed any of the guys from Extenda, and we'll put you in contact as well. And Jose Luis still hasn't appeared here in the backstage. I can see him here at the bottom. So I think we'll probably call it a day for the moment. Thank you very much for appearing. You've got Jose Luis's website there. I'll describe it very, very briefly before we disappear. It's basically a social network revolving around cars that acts as a lead generation tool for insurance companies and auto retailers. If you look online, you'll see it collects all the documentation, all the legal documentation that you require for your car in one place, and then builds on that to act as a lead generation tool. Thank you very much for your comment, Gabriela and Kunal. We didn't forget about you. You've got your content, your question up here. We didn't forget about you, but it appeared rather late. I don't know if there's a time lag on LinkedIn, and Wola had already left. But I highly recommend that you contact any of the guys from Wola directly. And they'll be happy to answer that question in terms of what their value added is. Okay, guys. Well, with that, Jose Luis still hasn't appeared, so I've given him 4 minutes so far. So we'll disappear off. Thank you very much for your time. As I say, if you need anything from us, feel free to reach out.